this or maybe like
myself, guys. But I didn't do it. I didn't do it. You can see the little dot from where I almost did it.
You scare me. You're scaring me.
I actually do most of the medical.
And God only.
Let's get up to 100k likes. I'm sorry, 1,000 likes. That would be fantastic. Keep sharing this out to your friends, to your enemies, to your cousins, to those MAGA freaks that you know, or
wow,
even
MAGA freaks.
Extreme
Very
leftists
nice
who want to talk about whether or not we can see a danger in what is going on if this sets a dangerous precedent in terms of the intentions of this administration. And also, if we think that's a good, actually calling up right now. What's up, Mango?
Howdy.
Age, state, who you voted for?
20 Mississippi Trump.
Fantastic. Did you see the Rededicate Prayer Festival or rally today?
Are you talking about the one with which one are you talking about specifically? The prayer?
There was a giant prayer rally in Washington D.C. today.
Yeah, I don't think I paid. I did see a clip of Pete Hegseth praying or talking about something. I honestly just scrolled past. It's kind of boring, but
Yeah.
no, I don't really know I don't know much what you're talking about.
So then you wanted to request up and talk about this prompt?
Yeah, I was gonna ask how I want a theocracy.
Do you not?
I don't think I want a theocracy. I mean, I've seen how it has occurred in the Middle East, and I'm not a fan.
Okay, so but you're a Christian. You voted for Donald Trump.
I'm a Christian, but I obviously believe in separation of church and state.
Okay. Do you think that Trump's administration believes that?
Believes in separation of church and state. Well, considering that some of his members aren't even Christian, it'd be kind of hard for there to be an implementation of a Christian theocracy, and unless you want it to be like Hindu for Kash Patel. But no, I don't really see how that would even work.
Do you think Kash Patel is indicative of what we're seeing from Trump's administration? Just because a few might not be religious, which I don't even know who you're talking about. Who in Trump's administration is not religious?
Well, I just gave you an example of someone who's not Christian. I don't know if RFK is considered a Christian.
So because of Kash Patel and the FBI, I shouldn't be concerned about Stephen Miller or Pete Hegseth or J.D. Vance.
Well, no. So you made the argument of ask the
Johnson.
cabinet. Do you think well, he's not part of the cabinet, but you're basically saying that let's look at his cabinet to determine whether or not we can have a theocracy. And if they're disagreeing on major religions and they have different beliefs on their religion, and one could argue Trump's a Jew. I've seen that a lot of people argue he converted to Judaism. I just don't really see how there could be a theocracy if everyone disagrees with each other.
I have not heard that. But okay, I think also one of the things that you're trying to do is take us into the religion of just the people who surround Trump, which isn't exactly what I'm getting at. I'm getting more towards the people who surround Trump, who are enacting policies in this country, who are trying to get it passed or have gotten it passed, that the Bible is displayed in schools. I am referring to the fact that a lot of I think it was over 200 service members making complaints that as they were heading towards this conflict with Iran, they were being told by their military officials and Pete Hegseth specifically that this was a holy war.
Okay, so this being a holy war makes that a theocracy? Are you kidding me?
Do you think that it's a good idea for our military officials or appropriate for our military officials to be deeming political conflicts holy wars?
Yeah, I'd hope all of our wars are holy. I'd hope every war that we have was justified by the Lord Jesus Christ. And if the Secretary of War would say that he believes that, then honestly,
right.
I would just be okay with it.
So you do want a theocracy. You don't believe in in separation of church and state.
Okay, so what do you mean by separation? What is separation of church and state? Does that mean that religious figures?
Every war that we fight is blessed by Jesus Christ. That does not sound like a separation.
I said holy.
Church and state.
What do you think holy means?
Holy means nothing to me. in the way that
Okay,
you're
so then
using
what are
it.
you talking about? You just made the equivalence
I'm
of
talking about
holy
what
and
you.
hold on.
I'm
You
talking about
made
what you are talking about. I'm
you
talking about
made the
you just said we
equivalence
hope
of
every war
holy
that
and
we fight.
blessed, and you say holy means nothing. Clearly, it means
I'm
something, but
saying
it
that
equivalates to you
again.
blessed.
No, again. If you want to if you want to drag this conversation down into the semantics of the magical words that you use, that's fine. I'd rather focus on the fact that you talked about involving Jesus Christ's opinion on wars that the state are engaging in, and also making the claim that you believe in a separation of church and state, and that not making any fucking sense to me.
Okay, so by the way, I do want to point something out. We all have a morality system, whether you like it or not. We all have our sense of morality. Many of us, many of that morality systems, many of those come from religion. And so, would you agree that that figures that are in charge of this country should act based off of their morality? Yes or no?
Off of their morality, I think the
Yeah.
figures of the state should act in what's the best interest of the state,
Yes.
and what is set up by the laws and the Constitution.
Which would be based off morality. Laws are based off of what's good and what's wrong. So,
That's
thank you
I
for.
mean
Yeah,
that's
the
not
morals of the book.
that's yeah,
Yeah.
that's not actually true.
Okay, so why is murder illegal?
Before we go on a little bit
Hold
further,
on, hold on, hold
hello
on. Slow down.
Hillary.
Why is murder
Before
illegal?
excuse me, I've got two other people on the panel. I need to introduce
Oh my
them. Hello
gosh, they
Hillary. Hello
always do this.
Six.
You ask them a tricky question and they
Hi.
just
Hey,
can't
what's up?
talk anymore.
Did you want to talk about any of
Morality
this?
should
What
play
this guy's
no
throwing
role.
down so far?
Actually,
Genuine morons.
sort of, kind of, but I'm gonna let Hillary take it if Hillary wants to go.
Well, you know, I actually room with a descendant of one of the forefathers, the white ones.
What is she on about? You already kick her, bro. Just kick her.
Yeah. So sorry, excuse me. And he's staunch on the fact, and his father was as well. Cause while he, while was with us, was staunch about the fact that there was to be a separation of church and state.
She's drunk.
So
She's
therefore,
drunk.
it was the laws that are put forth are not based in morality. It's based in right
Is
and
Kamala Harris
wrong.
debating?
And right
Is
and
this
wrong
Kamala Harris
doesn't
we're talking
necessarily
to right
mean
now?
morality. It's more ethic.
What in
Thank you,
God's
John.
green earth is she talking about? All right, I'm about to take back over.
I like that. I like that a lot. All right, Mango, you wanted to say something. And then, y'all,
Yeah.
let's just please keep tapping the live. Please keep tapping the live if you can, and share this out. Let's try and hit these gift goal if we can. Go ahead, Mango.
All right, so I would definitely argue that figures in power, such as the president, such as the Secretary of War, should be acting within the confines of morality and what's good and what's bad. If something's bad, they shouldn't do it. So, for a lot of people, for a couple 100 million people in the United States, their morality comes from the Bible. Now, if you're going to argue and say that that shouldn't be the case for people in charge, then you're just arguing that all people in charge should basically be non-religious or people that do not believe in any sense of morality based from any religion. And I would say that would be a
No,
very
that's not what
difficult
I'm saying.
system.
That's not what I'm saying at all. What I'm saying is that when it comes to acts of war, there are rules written out. Our Constitution, the United Nations, the entire world has come together for the most part. Civilized world has come together for the most part and say there are certain actions that we won't partake in when we're doing war. This is a certain way that we should treat prisoners. This is certain weapons that we're not going to use. This is how we're going to engage. There's rules of engagement. All of these things exist. And when a leader has to make decisions, I would hope, and the duty and the oaths that they take when they take office say that those are the rules that they're going to follow. That those are the first things that come to their mind in terms of how they engage in any sort of warfare, regardless.
Not
And
one
that
thing you're kind of
how they
ignoring
feel
is the reason for the
individually,
war.
and that how they feel individually, how they worship or don't worship individually, actually should play no part in how they're governing.
Wait, what?
Like at
Absolutely.
all.
Hold on, their own
It
beliefs
should not.
shouldn't dictate how they govern?
Yes.
Yes,
So how
They
should they
should
govern?
not.
How do they know what to
that's
do when they're
that
governing?
is the oath that they take. The oath
What?
that they take is that they're going to follow the Constitution and the law.
Yes, they're following the Constitution and the law, but that doesn't mean that they have no sense of morality. That doesn't mean that they should only do. I'm not even sure what you're arguing. You say that they
When
shouldn't do
making
what they
major,
believe,
What
and their
I'm
beliefs
arguing
shouldn't
is that
interfere with what they're doing.
what I'm arguing is that you are telling me you think that there should be a separation of church and state. And then out of the same mouth you're saying, but actually that's not possible. You're saying that you don't actually believe that people can worship who they want to worship and believe what they want to believe in their own personal life, but when it comes to governing, they let the rules of law and the rules of the state that are written down and the rules of the United Nations and the collected nations of what they will and will not do. That is their first concern when they're at that job
Okay,
and
so
performing the duties of
I
that
do want to point out
service.
something you kind of made an unbelievable claim that they shouldn't do what they think is best and that their beliefs shouldn't interfere with what they're doing. Can you please clarify?
Excuse me?
You made the claim that their beliefs, their personal beliefs on what's best for the country, should not interfere with what they're doing as president or as governor or as secretary of war. You made that claim word for word that their beliefs
Yeah, I'm
shouldn't
saying,
interfere. Are you talking about religious
yeah.
beliefs or are you talking about beliefs of what's best for the country or what's best for the world?
I'm talking about their religious beliefs for sure. I
Okay.
don't think that I don't think that people's orthodox or religious beliefs should come before the rules of the law. Especially if you want to, I mean, just in general.
So, like,
I
let's
do
say,
believe in a separation of church and state. It does not sound. I don't understand how you can't get what I'm saying.
okay,
You made the claim that you believe in the separation of church and state, correct?
yes, and you can still have a morality that derives from religion.
Why does morality have to? Why I don't understand this.
Okay,
This
you don't
please,
believe in morality?
never
Do you
mind.
believe that, do you think presidents
Okay,
should have any sense of morality? Yes or no?
okay. I don't want to. That's too philosophical. I don't. I just don't agree. Hillary,
Well,
you have your hand raised.
you're debating religion, pal. You're debating on whether or
I'm
not we
not
believe in
debating religion.
theocracy. You're the one that brought
I'm debate.
religion and
I'm
philosophy
first of
into it,
all.
genius.
First of
Mango.
all,
Oh my
I'm not
gosh.
debating religion. I'm making a claim about the fact that MAGA wants to pull a non-religious, secular country that is based on
Secular?
self-governance, a
Did you just
distribution
claim
of
America's
power, the
secular?
ability for power to be transferred over peacefully, and democracy, and all people being created equal.
Host, did you
That
just
is,
claim America's
excuse
secular?
me. I am talking about that
Yeah, you,
religion being
please, you've
pulled
talked
into
enough.
being pulled into a
Hey,
theocracy,
Host.
and how
Oh
that
my
and they're
gosh,
being
stop muting me. He
proven
won't
off
stop
that claim.
talking.
Hillary's had her hand up. I would like to hear what Hillary has to say.
yeah. First of all, don't do that because you are a guest in his space.
Hillary, you're
But
drunk. I don't want to
let's
hear
be
it.
polite. Let's be polite, okay? Second of all, no one's saying that a person cannot have morality, but the way it was set up with the Constitution in mind is a separation of church and state. And when it comes to the Department of Defense, because I'll never call it Department of War, because that's what it was supposed to be, to
Try
defend
harder, Loon.
military personnel take an oath to the Constitution to defend it against enemies, foreign and domestic, not go forth and make it so. This is not Star Trek. We don't go and butt in. We defend our country and our citizens and our Constitution.
Okay, so is
Now, have
Iran?
you ever served?
No, is the Iranian government an
Wait,
enemy of the United
I want to know if
States?
you
Okay,
ever
no, we're
I
not
served
already
in
talking
answered
about.
your
I don't want to.
question.
That's too much. That's too much. I don't want to. That's too far. That's too many steps. I want to address some things first, and then we can talk about Iran if you want to. Um, but okay, so let's do this because I was going to show these clips, and then you jumped up, and I do want to hear what you think about this since you are a Trump supporter. But okay, so let's talk about what happened today since you don't know that much about it. Here's a news clipping about it.
He had to hop out of that argument because he knew it was
a
really,
news
really
clipping that's
weak.
hilarious. A YouTube clip from Al Jazeera.
Event organizers are calling Rededicate 250 a nod to the 250th anniversary of the founding of the United States in July of 1776. What we've observed over the course of the day today is thousands of people arriving here, answering to this invitation for more prayer and a return to faith values in the United States. That's the way that it's being framed by event organizers as well as by the White House. This is an event that falls in line with the White House's America Prays initiative, which is calling for more prayer circles to be organized around the country. As you can imagine, there are a lot of different criticisms here. What we've heard from civil liberties organizations,
This is
primarily
only making me support
concerned
Trump.
over what's being
Like I was
as
kind of
the
like split on
growing
Trump.
influence
This is
of
making me
Christian
like him.
nationalism in American politics. There's also the concerns that events like these and criticisms that events like these go against the values of the First Amendment of the Constitution, which enshrines a separation of church and state.
So, all right. So that's just the first little brief coverage. Now, at this event, there were many speakers. Most of them, if not all, actually all of them, were Christian pastors or bishops or preachers in some way, shape, or form. One non-Christian person spoke, and he was an Orthodox rabbi. Rabbi Meir Slovitchik was the only non-Christian religious leader. So if this had been a call for for anybody to worship their God, if this had been sort of a touch to personal faith and calling people to just, if there had been Muslim speakers and witches and a whole plethora of religious figures, then maybe this wouldn't scare me. In terms of this administration trying to push Christian nationalism and push us closer to a dissolution of the church and state. What do you think about that, Mango?
So your biggest concern is that there weren't enough non-Christians.
I think it's concerning that there weren't any.
Do you think that that could probably have to do with the fact that most Americans, specifically, especially religious Americans, are Christian?
I don't think that majority should matter if we're talking about
What?
trying to return. I don't think the majority should matter. If we're talking about freedom of religion, we're talking about people getting back to their God, I think hosting a return to prayer, a rededicating to Jesus Christ on the Washington lawn with the president and the vice president and the speaker of the House all attending, telling people that we need to get this country back on Jesus, I have a problem with that.
So your problem, this is just to restate it. Your problem is that
it is
hold on.
against the formation of this country.
Your problem is that there are only Christians at this event, even though there's a rabbi there. So it's not solely a Christian event. Your problem isn't there was not enough diversity. Yeah, there's a rabbi there, which would just prove that it's not clearly just full of just only Christians. But also the reason why would there be Hindus? Why would there be Buddhists? If there's a very few number of these groups living in America, why would they be there?
I don't think he understood what you said, Craig.
No,
Because
I mean,
did, but
no,
that's
It's a call to prayer. Why would there be a call to prayer for people that don't live here?
Because there are Hindus and Muslims and non-religious people who live here.
Okay, if we're going to go with every single religion in our country, hold on. If we're going to have a call to prayer for every religion, it would take.
Do you think that they should not be represented?
Should they not be represented? They are represented every time they vote. I'm not sure your question.
Do you think that there should be a separation of church and state? Yes or no?
Yes, I already answered that question. And now let me ask you a question. Hold on. This isn't an interview. I asked you questions too. This isn't an interview, pal.
I have a follow-up question, and it literally is an interview. You came onto my live.
So this isn't a debate. This is an interview.
Let's not.
I mean, it's not. I don't know. I don't know what you're talking about.
It's a very simple question. Is this a debate or an interview?
It's closer to an interview at this point.
Okay, that's enough. If I can't ask questions, I'm not gonna participate. That's the most ridiculous. he makes the prompt look like a debate,
Nice. Like,
but
that's
then
considered,
turns it into an interview.
right? I kind of want to.
From the
Oh
side
my
of a dumpster
goodness.
in the middle of hall.
Can you explain that?
Don't black people claim that there's not enough seats?
Never allow his kids.
Procedure
Yes.
after?
Yes.
I mean, that's kind of a vague question. You could probably have a variety of different procedures if you have a
And
miscarriage.
no, it's only one.
Whoa,
It
is
depends
called-
on what your conditions are.
Technically,
But
no, it's
No,
called
that's
a spontaneous
gay.
abortion.
And for me,
Well, if they're
that's
debating
actually
abortion, I don't want to
stated
do
like
it. I don't feel like debating abortion already.
Unless the person knows how to tap into spirit, spiritual energy like that, which no one can. They're not energy benders.
Yeah, like I mean, my thing is like for the cave, like that Roko and Sozin went in that had
What
the
am I even on right now?
My tripod definitely is not.
He's got a third leg, dude.
She has a third leg, man.
What in the world are they talking about?
Guy, she's not.
I saw you had to think about it there for a second, buddy.
No, she's.
I'll just say right now, buddy. Like, she's married. She has a huge third leg.
Yeah.
It's
like seriously not in here. The only thing we get goes in here.
My goodness.
Here. So
I'm not really sure why I'm not getting any views.
This is an
Any views
education
on
system
YouTube.
that you guys have to put your own people through, which is okay. The Pakistani people never came to the UK. You went to them first.
Bro,
Your
British
borders entered them
British
first.
politics
They
is so
never, ever
boring.
traveled. Should gender be taught in school?
It's just
You know what? This ain't a crazy take. That's actually not a crazy take at all. I don't feel like joining in those lives right now.
But wouldn't there be a transaction that occurs, like that's agreed upon?
It still doesn't mean it doesn't fit the definition of exploitation.
Another like you can usually tell how reasonable the people are based off of the questions. Like pro tweets on them once again.
Using
Anyone that has that
somebody's
prompt, don't even
resources
have a conversation with them.
for
You're
this
wasting your
sake,
time.
using somebody's
Why people shouldn't wear
resources in an
box
unfair
braids?
way
I don't
to
even know what a
make
box braid
a
is. I think it's
personal
hair.
gains or selfish interest.
Stupid question or stupid
Right.
claim.
But
Gender
you
is
said
subjective.
unfair, and unfair is a
For some reason, that's not
term. It's
as extreme as these other things. And then
quantify
Christianity
what
is
is
a cult. I don't really
unfair.
debate religion, but
Bruh,
that's a
you're-
terrible take.
You said you had already.
Death to U.S. military, and again, huge red flag.
Whether that be people here or whether that be people overseas.
you just can't give a care about what people talk.
Nazis.
it's a way to tell the states. And grapes, does that mean we should make grape legal?
But I fell into the
All right, where's the MAGA hat? Tell him to wear the MAGA hat.
happened.
I had one of my most random videos that I just knew wasn't gonna do well because I try to put out a video or two before I go live because they tend to do better sometimes.
Do 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 do
And it got
do. I'm not disagreeing. I just think our understanding of the document of the Constitution has been.
All right, let's join TS.
Because we've never really read it.
Try to join the guys with the
So
podcast,
it's
Max.
very
They
hard
usually
to
have better
have a correct
debates.
political, which is the Constitution.
Hey, look, true. I certainly haven't read it all the way through start to finish. So, yeah.
And that's, again,
I'll give you that
I
point,
hadn't for a long time. And what I've done by reading it is realize that Congress and the system's really been taken away from us. And it's because we don't know it and we've kept believing these people.
Very true. Very true. Give me 1 second real quick. Hey, Mango Man, give me your age real fast.
20 years old.
Okay. Did you vote for Trump?
Yes, I did.
Okay. Hey, Smokey, you want to hang out with me?
Yeah, by all means, I can gladly help out. I'll stay on mute unless you want me to chime in.
All right. Mango Man, tell me why you still support Trump, or if you think that he's great for the country or ruining it.
I would say my argument would probably be the tax cuts. along with, I mean, his other things. But I was actually going to come up here and ask mainly about how MAGA is a cult. So, like, from what I've noticed among all the major Trump supporters is that they always criticize him. Like, they all have criticized him at least 2 times. And so, if it's a cult, why are they all criticizing their cult leader?
No, that's a very good point you bring up. There are some people who will actually, like, at least give some sort of accountability for it. Now, I do think that showing accountability and just criticism by word alone, I don't say are entirely equal. Giving accountability would mean that, on your own, without anybody prompting you, you'd be able to hold them accountable. And if you're able to, let's say, placate or look over some things that you might that you might not redline, you'd be able to at least admit that. There are some people, though, that will not do that, but only when they're in a heat of a conversation or when pressed or when the hypocrisy or contradiction is revealed, will then only admit something along the lines of like, well, let me do this criticism so we can keep this conversation going or whatever it might be. I wouldn't necessarily, like, I would still call that an example of this extreme devotion to a particular idea or belief that's unwavering.
So, like, let's say they were criticizing Trump outside of podcasts, like every major Trump supporter has. Again, I'm just confused. Where's the correlation? Because if you're going to argue and say that these people are always supporting, there's people that support Trump that will always support Trump. Sure, but that's true for every political group. There's going to be people they're always going to support Obama, Biden, like any major political figure. They're always going to have people that support them no matter what. So do all of these people, are all these groups, are all Obama supporters in a cult?
I would disagree with that because there are plenty of things that are red lines for most. Well, now this is an opinion I'm giving you. There's plenty of red lines for most Democrats about whom I've talked to, and I think that we all talk to, is where if a particular individual were to do something, we would stop supporting them and we would do it automatically. A good example of this, a good recent example of this, is how people were treating Eric Swalwell just when allegations came out with the essay and the other sexual misconduct. There weren't people out there defending him. There weren't people out there being like, hey, look, I know he did these horrible things, but I really like his policy on the border. For me personally, I can tell you that if anybody who I vote for is going to again do anything that I consider red line, this would be whether it be your personal character or particular policies. Like if somebody were to say our economic approach is to use tariffs every 150 days with no plan, I would immediately jump off the Obama train. I'd be like, well, that's silly. I'm not going to, why would I vote for you? That's an absolutely ridiculous way to do that.
Sure. So, number one, you use Eric Swalwell as an example. Eric Swalwell never had a massive following. Like, he wasn't as nearly as popular as Trump or Obama. But, I mean, if we're going to
I
talk
just
about
use
personal
a
experience.
recent person.
Yeah, so the Democrats
I
threw
was
him off the
using it like a
bus.
recent person. That's all.
And by the way, if we're going to talk about that, the Democrats have kept him ever since like the Chinese spy came out, and they kept going with him. But I've met people that supported Biden even after finding out that he showered with his daughter, who was like 12 years old. Think about the difference between him and Trump. Trump supporters will just claim that that never happened and that the sexual assault allegations aren't true. Democrats are out here acknowledging that what happened to Ashley Biden actually happened, but they're defending him by saying that, oh, well, he's his dad, so he can get away with it. So we're going to talk about
Can I
personal
ask you a question
experience.
about that really fast?
Sure.
Do you believe that claim?
Believe what? That Obama or that Biden sexually assaulted his daughter in a shower, or that Trump sexually assaulted E.G. Carroll?
Biden.
That, well, I mean, I've
About
read that I've read that in Ashley Biden's diary that she did write down that
I'm
she
just asking
showered
you
with
if
him.
you
So
believe
sure,
that.
I'd need reason to believe otherwise since she wrote it down in her private diary.
Okay. Do you trust S.A. D. Jean Carroll?
I would, but I've found out I have reason to believe it's not true, considering she doesn't even know the year that the sexual assault happened, doesn't know the month, doesn't know the year. The story is, I mean, there's not
Well,
credible
you don't
evidence.
know the year. You
She
and
doesn't know the
Ashley
year.
both don't know the year. No, she doesn't. And I'm going to tell you why here in a second. But do you know the year that it happened to her then?
No, but
Because
if I was sexually
she,
assaulted, I
under
would
her
know.
deposition, under her deposition, she didn't give a year. So, would you like to tell me the tangible difference between why you do believe Ashley and you don't believe E. Jean Carroll, even
Okay,
though a court believed her?
so Ashley Biden had nothing to gain.
Don't veer
Hold on.
away from this.
You asked me a question. I'm answering it. Ashley Biden had nothing to gain from writing this down. E. Jean Carroll had a lot of money to win from this. E. Jean Carroll's story. She claimed to be sexually assaulted. She had herself. By the way, she admitted that she was into that type of stuff. Did you ever hear that recording?
No, she didn't. No,
She did.
No,
She
no,
said
she
that it
didn't.
was hot. She said it was attractive.
Yeah, no, I will. What no, hey, Mega Man, you're lying. So, what you're
I'm lying.
what
Okay,
you're
if I could pull
referencing
you,
is
hold on.
Anderson
If I could
Cooper.
pull you a
No,
clip,
I'm
we drop your phone.
I'm going to tell you. I'm going to tell you. Relax. What you're referencing here is the Anderson Cooper interview where she was talking about how SA is a violent act. And then she said that I think men think grape is sexy. So there. So first thing I debunked. Second thing is that diary that is reportedly Ashley Biden's was stolen from her by Project Veritas. Project Veritas does a lot of this. They can manipulate things. We don't have anybody that's ever done an independent handwriting test on the handwriting. Under Ashley Biden's deposition, at the risk of perjury, she said that those things didn't happen and were grossly mischaracterized. So, there, I answered it for you. Now,
So,
you said
this is starting to sound like a
you
cult to
said you
me.
believed
This is starting
her.
to sound like a cult.
Wait, hold on. How is that a cult when that's actually what happened? Because we have we have deposition notes. Like we have.
You're defending. Hold
Project
on.
Veritas admitted. Project Veritas admitted to paying a woman to steal it. And it's
Okay.
also a fact that we haven't verified the handwriting. What
We
I'm
haven't
saying
verified
is
the
that
handwriting?
claim is,
That's your
I'm
argument?
not
Are you
done.
kidding me?
No, I'm not done yet. You gotta let me finish.
Stop talking.
What I'm saying is that claim is unverified. I'm not saying it's true or false. What I am saying is we need a little bit more evidence to verify if it happened or not. That's all I'm saying. That's not cult-like. That's just analytical. Because
No.
what you're saying is it absolutely did happen because I heard it did. So how is that more analytical than the approach that I just gave you when I gave you more actual data on what's happening there? And that data is we have the deposition that the diary was stolen by Project Veritas, who admitted already to paying a woman to do it, and they could have doctored it or done anything else because we don't have handwriting analysis.
So,
How am I
your
unreasonable?
argument isn't that someone stole the diary. If your argument is that someone stole the diary, that would only give it more credibility because that means that they just
Did
make
that
it up.
happen?
But now your
No,
argument, sure, I don't
Is
care. That
it
doesn't
true
change
that it
anything.
happened?
Please
Thank
let
you.
me finish. Look, you asked me a question. I've got to be able to finish.
No, cry harder, cry harder.
So let's talk about it. Okay,
Cry
you mentioned,
fucking
by the way, you
harder
mentioned
about it,
E. Jean
dude.
Carroll said men think that rape is sexy. She said people think rape is sexy. Do you think rape is sexy?
Your
Do you
claim
think that?
was she thought it was, and also remember the
Can
TOS
we
use the word
keep to
grape, please.
TikTok
Yeah, is she a
friendly
person?
language, please?
Grape. Sure, sorry.
You said she thinks it is what your
Okay,
claim
I was wrong.
and
She
you
thinks
were
everyone else
wrong.
thinks it's sexy. Doesn't make it any
I
better,
don't
by the
think
way.
she said that.
Doesn't
I
make
don't
it any
think
better.
she says everyone thinks it is.
She's-
Well, she
she-
was just saying, as a person who endured an SA, she was giving her opinion on that she thinks that people think it's sexy. I don't
Who
really
in
understand
the
why you're
world thinks
taking.
that?
I don't understand why you're taking
Who thinks
such
that, by the way? Not
affront
a
to that.
rational
Why
person
are-
thinks that.
There are some men who think that. Absolutely, that's absolutely true. Some men.
Very,
The people
very
that
few
do
men
it
think
it's
that.
right. The people who do it think it's right and that it's okay, obviously, because they fucking do it.
God
And
damn, man, good man. I can tell you're 20 years old, dude. You can't think for shit.
When
I
someone
am
says, hold on, when
You
someone
can't
says
think
that,
for fucking shit. No,
homie,
no.
you haven't stopped talking for 5 seconds. It's my turn to speak, okay? Oh, wow. I'm telling you,
Again, can
these
we help
people
you?
not. I gotta just pause
How
for a
can I help
second.
you? How can I help
Genuinely gotta pause for a second. If someone says to you, I think rape is kind of hot. Or if someone says, people think rape is hot. Both of those are equally crazy takes. Those are insane takes. Both of those takes should probably put you in the mental asylum just because number one, if you think rape is sexy, you're a weirdo, you're probably a rapist. But if you think that it's a mainstream belief, if you think that most people, that the mainstream people, that the average person thinks that rape is hot, you are just as insane as the person that actually believes that. No one, the mainstream does not think that. And Eugene Curl knows, or hopefully knows that's not true. I hope to goodness, and she either believes what she says and is clearly wrong and needs to be put in a mental asylum, or she's just flat out lying and would give you more reason to believe that she's making this entire thing up. That was such an insane take. He couldn't handle it. He kicked me and did not let me finish. Did not let me talk. It was insane. Just like all these other TikTok
I kind of want him over a
live
little.
hosts.
But
They're
he's like,
idiots. I'm about to host my own. These are so annoying. I allow people to talk. When I hosted TikTok lives, everyone was talking. I allowed everybody. I didn't care if you agreed with me or not. I allowed you to talk. These people do not let you speak at all.
I guess they're having connection problems.
Anyone that even says what she said out loud should
and you can't just kick my.
automatically disqualify.
Just curious. Just out of curiosity, guys. No reason.
If you're like searching it, will you send me like a picture screenshot on the screen?
Every day. So we have to be they. So
kids' brains a sponge. So they're obviously going to see things and they're going to act on things and they're going to start asking questions. Like, let them develop at least. And on top of that, too, don't bring that over there. That's something I don't like. It's like, no, we don't got to take that. I don't want you to do that around kids and family.
Okay.
I can actually tell the truth on about my
I'm gonna
age.
speak
on
now.
here.
First of all,
Okay, so
we have.
I'm not 20, by the way. I'm
To the
16.
freaking queen, Sandy.
Could tell you're 20 years old. Thanks, pal.
I guys go to college.
Tell I'm 4
for
years
what
older than I
people
actually am.
To be
Genius.
honest,
To you, Cliff.
I'm so happy for you.
I'm sure she doesn't. All three of those things.
That's okay. That's okay.
She does, absolutely.
Okay.
That makes sense.
Yeah, agnostics is just like.
Thanks for the roses. Damn, we have 500 people up in here right now. That's wild. Charlie, I'm gonna go with Trump.
All right, too many
CC,
people. I don't
wow.
feel like waiting in that. Obviously, I voted for Trump, but I would have voted for Trump because it's a political compass. Can you please stop taking advice?
Because of what I said before.
So it's like a common
So you
thing
just
in
said
the
same
women's
thing again.
community.
It's not like you're actually trying
Like,
to.
do women consistently like take advice from like OnlyFans girls or something? What? Oh my
Do what I
gosh,
said,
bro!
and we're
Asking the real questions. Who's American? Who's really
don't.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was at the mountain 2 days.
That you're just
Be aggressive on that side.
I'm gonna find a real debater. I think Discord has them. Maybe. I think what I'm gonna do is do you mingle. It might be banned. All right. Actually, I think what I'm gonna do is hold on. I'm gonna switch over to the Mac. Oh, you mingle is restricted. Okay. Israel. Wait. That's funny.
Called for, but I don't know how long I'm gonna be live because I really am.
What's it?
How might play with it?
Did you want to ask me?
Is it true you still
Because
Yeah, well stated. I'm gonna find you sometime. I'm gonna DM you. So
was I just
yeah,
debating this guy?
type it
I don't
down and
know.
type
They're all
down
running
what you say
together.
here because I am gonna start incorporating that.
Yeah, I did. MAGA's a
Equipment
cult.
seller,
That always is
or
a.
he was buying their equipment. He's like, I wanted the
That's always a
equipment,
really
but I
hard
didn't
point
want
to
it
debate
this
from.
way.
You can't
And
prove
so they,
MAGA's a
his
cult.
families,
MAGA's
the
so.
families of those
MAGA,
people,
what they
those
consider MAGA to
men,
be, is so
were having to sell off
like
all of the
too
equipment and
vague.
the farm, the farm equipment.
Yeah, well, that's what you fucking get.
Mango.
Howdy.
Yeah, age, state, and who'd you vote for?
My age is 20 years old. My state is Mississippi, and I voted for Donald John Trump. I think that's his middle name, John. Voted for him.
You think that's his middle name?
Yeah, I know it's a J. I don't know if it's John or I'm pretty sure it is.
It's jackass. To be
Oh,
honest
good
with
one.
you.
Got the whole lobby laughing at that one.
I'm laughing because you're not here.
He only has 16 followers, so I'm not sure why he was brought up.
Yeah, I don't know. I didn't even check.
I was invited up here. I didn't even request up.
Are you a troll?
Okay.
No, I'm not a troll.
So why do you did you want to address the prompt?
I guess hate, racism, misogyny, and xenophobia. I guess that's a MAGA hat. So, yeah. Explain to me why the MAGA hat has those mean words on it.
Self-explanatory.
You think?
It's their
Okay.
stance.
Hey,
Sure.
FM.
Not the mean words.
FM,
Yeah.
he's 20, and I don't think he knows what xenophobia means.
I know what xenophobia means.
What does xenophobia
It's
mean?
hatred. It's like racism, but for foreigners and for immigrants.
Yes, hatred, yes, for other countries.
But
yes.
hey, wait, you don't believe that Trump supporters support all the stuff on that hat?
Dude, Trump is so nice to these immigrants. He's giving them money to leave. Like,
No, he's not. What
he's
the
giving
fuck?
them money to leave. He is nicer than Obama. Turn that garbage off.
He's violating the Constitution.
He's violating the Constitution. Un-American.
Hey, Mango, are you up here to have a conversation, or are you a chaos starter?
You're the ones that are just throwing out claims and not actually defending
No,
them.
it's not a claim. It's
Hold
a
on.
It's not a
fact.
claim. So what is it?
So I have a question.
It's a fact.
Mango, so
You can make claims that are facts. That's not illegal.
Hold on, Mango, so you're gonna deny the fact that you voted for a racist?
Yeah, the racism argument has been done. I thought we were done with this like 10 years ago. Why are we still doing this?
Hold on.
Well, because
hold
if you
on
go
one
to a
second.
Trump rally, you
Hold on,
see
guys.
Confederate
Hold on.
flags.
Go ahead, cheeseburger.
So if you go to a Donald Trump rally, you see Confederate flags and guys with the two S's in a cross pattern, and they want to deport anyone that doesn't look like them. They believe in not the Constitution, which grants anyone on U.S. soil the right to due process. They're Christian nationalists. So they sound very un-American to me. Why do you agree with that?
Okay, so Trump never puts Confederate flags in his rallies. If there's people that are bringing Confederate flags to his rallies, I'm sure they're probably not actually at his rallies. They're probably outside of it. But if
they're in
okay,
rallies.
please let me finish.
Trump
Hold
literally
on.
praises Confederate leaders. Okay.
He did. Oh, can you pull that clip up?
He renamed after they changed the name to military bases.
Talking about Robert E.
Confederate
Lee.
fucking generals. He
Oh my
changed
gosh.
that back to
Cry harder. Robert E. Lee. Are you really being for real?
Mango. I know you're only 20, but when an adult is speaking, please allow him to finish, and then you can rebut.
FM, he
And Robert
interrupted
E.
me.
Lee.
Hold on, no. He interrupted me. What are you talking about, hypocrite?
Hey,
I'm not gonna.
listen,
That's
Robert E.
just
Lee.
rude. Now you're being a hypocrite.
Robert E. Lee was a horrible general. He had a 50-50 winnings in actual battles. He was a horrible slave owner.
Christy.
Hold on. FM, I remember Mango now.
Okay,
When
well,
he
then
loses a debate, he resorts to racial slurs.
Okay.
What?
And foreign
Literally made that up.
entities
I've never
controlling
ever called
politics.
anybody a
Perhaps,
racial
yes.
slur on TikTok Live.
Maybe
I've never called anybody a racial slur ever, by the way.
honestly.
But not on TikTok Live. Just completely made that up from the air. That's hilarious.
Not.
Okay, I'm
It's actually that's not the first time someone just made something up about me on here.
Okay.
There's been a lot of that.
I'm not Ken Jack Shamit.
I think they knew what they were going.
Garbage.
My next argument was going to be Washington D.C. being named after George Washington and how George Washington had slaves, and you should support the renaming of Washington D.C. or else you support slavery. But didn't get to throw that argument out because I got interrupted and accused of being a racist.
Core political ideology that caused you to vote for Trump? Like, what was your reasoning?
Yeah,
I'll run against this guy or debate against this guy. I need more viewers. This is so annoying.
Tonight is mighty special, so fasten your seatbelts, 'cause I'm a launch special. Ain't gonna land until
I got an idea. I'm gonna start posting these clips. That's what I'm gonna do. Start posting them.
bigger than Jesus.
So are you asking me like if I agree with that?
With each one.
Yeah, for the acknowledgement.
Earlier years rather.
Are you
To
coming?
be honest, I feel like
Wait,
it's the distractions
are you
and
coming? I
influences
can't read the stupid comments right
all
away.
over the place.
Okay,
You know,
not
social
political. I don't
media,
care.
expect.
Oh, I think this one
Raising your
was.
kids the same way you're talking right now, right? So,
I raised my kids.
Too many people. If there's like that many people, and I don't want to join.
That was thinking.
Yeah, too many people. I
Do
just
I
keep it a
look like
1v1 debate. That like a lot of times I'll join those, but like as proven 5 minutes ago, they don't really work out.
So when you ask me,
I did not vote this last time around.
Alberta.
And
You didn't vote
where are
this
you
last
from?
time around?
I did not. No, sir.
Why?
Well, who'd you vote for?
Kamala Harris?
And why?
Because she didn't lose the most jobs in history. She didn't add the most to the United States deficit than any other president in history. He didn't mishandle a pandemic that caused over 1 million lives. He didn't destroy the farmers so that they had to be bailed out by almost $1 billion. He did not destroy the longest running economy for growth and gains. He was a part of the administration that created the strongest economy on the globe.
Oh my
He was part
gosh.
of the
Yeah, this dude
administration
talks
that
too
built
much.
over
Too
one
much yapping. DJT is ruining the country. That is a cool. How can anyone still support him?
Oh, I swear to God, I think everybody's related and also simultaneously fucking.
It's kind of sad that, that these liberals are pandering to foreigners.
No.
Canada
no,
hates
I
Trump.
live,
Like, I can't think of a more feminine
live
username.
in the middle of nowhere in the Ozarks.
Couldn't think of a more low
actually.
testosterone username. And Canada
and my
hates Trump.
town
Oh no!
on a good
What are you
day
gonna do?
has
Tax
like
us?
1,000 people in it,
Gonna
and
put
I
a
don't want to
carbon
be
tax on
associated
America?
with a single one of them.
Gonna raise
So
our prices by 400%.
Garlic, smoked
Men are emotions,
chili,
man. Oh, I might.
and garlic.
No, that's more about gender.
I had
That's
somebody.
gay.
I'm gonna add it in.
American, but it's like how me being a so-called Mexican, how kind
All right, I think I'll get off. Maybe join it. I want to join an actual debate. Maybe you could just scroll on Twitter or something. I don't know. To say higher prices of oil is. I love that GIF. Okay, population really is not an argument. Life expectancy. That's only because we have a bunch of. Okay, I'm not going to say that. Freedom of speech. That is so. I don't know who is ranking these. If you say this is an actual situation, things that have actually happened in Germany. I think it might have happened in the UK too. where people that are, rapists get less time sentences, like less prison time than those that are getting raped because the rape victim said something mean on social media. If you say like a slur on Instagram, you're going to jail longer than your rapist, is effectively what's been going on within Europe, within the United Kingdom, Germany, France. That's just how it is right now. Happiness, yeah, it depends on where. I mean, no way anyone in London's happy. I would not be happy. I'd probably be very... Now I don't know how to say this correctly. I would not want to live anymore. Income inequality, yeah, nothing's wrong with income inequality. It's actually not a bad thing. It's only a bad thing if the lower class is just really, really poor. If everyone's rich, but the rich are really rich, there's no problem. Democracy index, like, okay. Top 1%, cry harder. Culture and tradition, 24. You're comparing a continent to a country, genius. Let me say American education is bad. Obviously, Europe, the continent's gonna have more languages. Just like North America has a lot of languages. We've got Spanish, we've got English, we've got French in Canada. We've got whatever Cubans speak, and whatever all those other Central Americans, probably Portuguese somewhere in there. We've got languages in North America, but obviously it's not comparable because it's a continent compared to America, a country. Healthcare is a riot. Healthcare is trash in Europe. America has better healthcare. And then this doofus, I hate that guy. Alright, I think I'm gonna call it quits. This is boring. Keep finding one on TikTok. No views. This is just not exciting at all.